Sir, we are overrun.
Welcome back. Friday, June 23rd, 2023. The final showdown of the mini campaign of Gottendamurang versus Clan Novacat and Clan Smoke Jaguar in the DCMS occupation zone on a secret planet. As you can see, we're setting up the table. The buildings in the cities are erect. The roads and the concrete have been laid out. And we're giving you a full 360-degree view of the city. Objectives are the 2 factory buildings, Sector HQ, comm station, and then 2 research buildings across the street from each other you'll see in the next video. It's a game of 985 points. And it's gonna be brutal. No holds barred, no mercy, and no quarter. Clan Novacat has set up on their back edge. Clan Smoke Jaguar is set up on the far right corner. And the Kestrel cargo is ready to go. Objectives are designated by the peach-colored objective coins laid out on top or next to them. Gottendamurang's vehicles and Recon Lance on one side, Skull Squadron, Command Lance, Fire Lance, and then the flanking Lance. But all the objectives are out. Mech Factory. In the middle, trying to get the focus to clear up, are the water treatment plant across from the research facility, the other factory in the far distance, comm tower at the top corner. This is the movement of turn 1, looking down the streets, looking for targets. Nobody wanted to come play with the Assault Star. Clan Smoke Jaguar even looks a little disappointed because there's no one down the street willing to take a shot at them. Dirty Surat Intersphere mercenaries. Zooming out. Oh, we see one member of Skull Squadron, another member. Shadow Cats have dipped behind the building, coming around. Wolfhound Wasp on the bottom, in the middle of your screen. Phoenix Hawks at the top, my opponent. Demolisher and a Marsden tank. Coming around. Oh, look. A Phoenix Hawk is poking around a corner, but there's no one for him to shoot at because we got the corners wrong. Coming around. The Command Lance with the Marauder 2 and the Stalker are all lined up. The Strikers have moved into position. This Patrol Lance is trying to get and gain ground. It's going to be really brutal when the shooting starts. Maybe. We're not sure yet. Drop a comment who you think is going to win this matchup of 985 points. Alright. The left fire lance is okay. The Marauder 2C got pounded a lot. There's no mercy here. Warhammer 2C looking around the corner. Supernova looking down the street. Stone Rhino. Switching buildings, switching flanks. One of the Shadow Cats got pounded to one structure point and decided to RTB at the end of the turn. Pounded the Wolfhound a little bit with the Shadow Cat. Psych, no one missed. Opponent is moving up his Lance of Skull Squadron. They make me sick. Alright. Looking down the street, alternate view. They were having a meeting in front of the building. Vehicles are holding down the factory. My vehicle is hovering above, looking down the street. It's a little lonely. Back in the Marauder 2, it's going to hurt when it starts firing. But I like the way that this set up. That way you can get a good view. Question popped up in my messenger feed. Objectives were scored at the end of the game. My Shadow Cat was trying to get a back shot on somebody. Marauder 2 came up close to paying him a visit. Did not go well. My Nova Cat was in a beautiful position for indirect firing, using the plants as a spotter. Turn 1 casualties were the Shadow Cat running and one of the Kestrels. I whiffed on every shot in an opening to this game. Skull Squadron laughed as the clans could hit the broadside of a barn, only needing 7s and 8s. Coming around, Marauder 2 got pounded by indirect fire and a direct shot from different mechs. Going into turn 3. This is before movement. We've ganged up and banged up in a corner. I'm going to insert the Goshawk and Dragonfly behind that to get even for those guys thinking they had a safe place to hide. Skull Squadron even whiffed some of their shots. Looking around. Yeah, it was a beating waiting to go down. That Shadow Cat did not survive the end of the turn shooting. These streets are amazing. Well, the highway streets, I should say. Alright, Hunchback unloaded his hurt and went behind the cover. Marauder 2C got pounded out. It was just brutal. But he also took a lot of stuff with him. We missed over here. Shadow Cat hasn't died yet. I was too early going in the bottom of turn 4. The conga line of death were all the Warhammers looking at one side of the street. Skull Squadron flanked around that building. Couldn't get a clear shot. Shadow Cat pounded the Hunchback in the rear. Alright. Movement. Trying to back up and hold out. Fighting people. Stone Rhinos trying to give covering fire. Mad Cats from Smoke Jaguars and the Nova Cats are trying to get eyes and beads. Skull Squadron flacked out all the way out. Shadow Cat ran over here. This is where he died. Koshi is safe. The Warhammers are down the street, not playing nice with anybody. Skull Squadron is trying to hold ground. No one was safe looking down the streets. Warhammers were pounding out down the street. Strikers were giving great indirect fire support. Nobody was really hitting. My opponent's trying to consolidate his power. Didn't work. Pounded out the striker with a lot of fire. Hunchback took a beautiful pop shot at somebody. Novacat whiffed on his indirect fire rules. Nobody was hitting anything, and it was just bum depressing. Rolling around. There's a couple of pot shots and some indirect fire here at the Stone Rhino, looking over a building. Down here in the paint, we down the Marauder 2, we down the Cyclops and the Stalker. His command lance botted. Hunchback had overheated to do its damage. Now he's cooling off, hiding behind a mech factory. Massacre is holding down the street, looking down the street, and he has eyes on the Hunchback who he took out. Coming into this corner, everyone fired at the Warhammers. One Warhammer went down, didn't really do that well. We whiffed 2 shots. We're trying to scratch the other one. The one all the way at the back is retreating due to critical damage. Vulture played with the tank. Shadowcat botted in front of the mech factory trying to sneak up on the tank and hurt it. Skull Squadron danced to the side of the building and punished the Shadowcat. The Crusader is actually a dragon and is flanking out to go capture objectives. Koshi jumped to the top of the hill. Oh, looks from the other side. The Warhammers are trying to hold the line against a Supernova, Warhammer 2C, and a Stone Rhino. Hunchback is out. Massacre is looking for someone else to punish. And behind the Warhammers and the other Hammerhands was a Goshawk and a Dragonfly Viper shooting people in the back. Also beat up on the Valkyrie. The Hatchetman had escaped fire the entire game, turned, ran into a mech, and killed it. Oh, yay. Alright, going into 5. Massacre lined up on the Warhammer up front. The Dragon and the Rifleman came out to play. Supernova, Novacat, and the Stone Rhino are advancing down the street. Warhammer 2C ducked under the alcove to take a shot at somebody. Mad Cat had no one to play with, neither did the Koshi. These two whiffed miserably. Smoke Jaguars suck. The Macross forces tried to jump the Viper next turn. It didn't work out. There's a lot of going back and forth. Hope you guys are enjoying this. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Even with low mods, the dice weren't with me this turn. The alleyway of death was just pounding and punishment. 2 of the strikers died in the firefight. Trying to take on clan assault mix. What did you not learn? What did you not learn? Rifleman. Fired at the Goshawk, finished it off. Goshawk murdered the rifleman in one go by overheating for one, jumping in, needing a 6. Rolling through this camera footage a little bit faster. Alright. Hatcheman murdered the Warhammer 2C that only had 2 structure left. But Hatchetman 2C got gunned down. Again, the whiffing was horrifying over here. Not worth talking about. Wasn't thrilled with it. The last turn of the game. Novacat secured the first 2 objectives by proximity, gunned down the last Warhammer. On the far flank side, indirect fire and good placement knocked out 3 of Skull Squadron. Even though we lost the Mad Cat in the process, we'll call it a good trade. Purple Mad Cat, or Smoke Jaguar Mad Cat was in crits. Vulture was clean by the end of the game. Coming back around, opponent had secured 2 of the objectives. Clans secured 2 of the objectives. There was no way to contest or hold up any more objectives. Mad Cat down. Vulture still clean. Swinging back around for the last pass. This was a brutal back and forth battle with explosions. The remaining Hammerhands is pulling off. Clan Novacat own those 2 objectives. Opponent had that objective for the factory and had the bonus command center. So even with an extra turn, it still would have been 3-3 out of 6 objectives. And what a game, kids! What a game!